Each and every person has had at least $1 million idea at some point in their life. Determine whether or not this concept has any legs and, more importantly, whether or not it has the potential to become a lucrative business is the difficult part. Over the course of my more than a decade as a small business owner, I found 3 critical questions to ask yourself in order to assess whether or not the concept is worth pursuing in the first place. All of these questions may aid you in developing what I like to refer to as the success triangle, a strategy that may assist aspiring entrepreneurs in selecting whether or not to proceed with their venture. Is it a good idea? Let's start with the most obvious example. Some ideas are good, while others are not, and just because your mother thinks something is great does not necessarily mean that it is so as well. The "if we build it, they will come" mentality, which can be both attractive and destructive at the same time, has taken hold of far too many of us. Because you're obsessed with your dogs and feel that the world is clamoring for the introduction of canine teeth whitening pens, it does not follow that the product will be a success in the marketplace. Many essential questions must first be answered when something looks to be a good idea on the surface, in order to identify whether or not the concept is truly valid. These questions include: is there a compelling reason to do so? What is the nature of the situation's urgency? What amount of competition do you think there is now in this market? Is your intended consumer base a significant number of people? Do the features and benefits of your product or service provide you with a unique edge over the competition? What previous experience or significant interest do you have in this field? Does a present trend in the marketplace or company suggest that my product or service will be more or less desirable in the near future? Implementation. How well can you put a plan into motion? When you have a brilliant business idea, it's one thing. Putting it into action is quite another. Even if your idea of selling doggy tooth whitening is a viable one that the market needs, how successfully will you be able to implement it? What approach do you employ in order to create the product? How well does it perform as a whole? What is the ease of use like? What marketing and distribution strategies will you use to promote and sell the product? The following factors, among others, should be considered when evaluating the success with which your company's idea has been implemented. What strategies do you intend to use to provide outstanding customer service? What is the extent to which your product or service is of high quality? What is the most cost-effective approach for you to develop your product or provide your service? When do you intend to visit the market? What is the procedure through which your product or service is manufactured? What is the ease of marketing the product versus the complexity of marketing the product? Earnings. Can you make profit with your business model? Unless you're launching a non-profit organization, the majority of entrepreneurs aim to make a profit. If you are not in control of your profit levels, you will most likely not be in business for very long. It's crucial to assess your whole business model as part of this process. You shouldn't think about your pricing model while developing your dog whitening product. Are you selling whitening pens on an individual basis or in large quantities? Are you simply selling pens, or do you also provide a whitening service to your customers? Where will you sell your products? Online, through veterinarians and spas, or through retailers? Consider the following questions to assist you in evaluating your company's strategy and possible profit. What is the breakdown of your costs? What are your out-of-pocket expenses? In terms of money, what does it cost to get a client? What is the projected demand, in terms of numbers? What method will you use to sell? What do you prefer, online, brick and mortar, employing a party idea, or using resellers? Are you primarily concerned with B2B or B2C sales? Do you sell to individuals or to groups of people? Do you want to buy in bulk or by the item? Are you employing a franchise business model? Are you in the business of selling things, services, or both?